Dear students, welcome once again to Bishop Academy online classes. Today we have to get discussed over the very first chapter, not very first, it is second chapter of economics, which is sectors of Indian economy, in which today we have to get discussed over the sectors on the basis of nature of economic activities. As you know, now India become the world's sixth largest economy, and that's why it become very important for us to study this chapter with too much care. Today we have to get discussed over the basic of this chapter, that is human activities get divided into two parts, economic activities and non-economic activities. Both these things you study in previous classes. In class 9th you know it very clearly that economic activities are classified into three groups: primary activities, secondary activities and tertiary activities. So student, I hope all of you become quite familiar with the industries or the works that has been kept under this category. In primary activities, all the production activities that has been occurred from nature directly, like agriculture, pisciculture, sericulture, even mining, kept in this category, that is primary activities. In secondary activities, we get involved in production activities. We process the goods of primary activities into more refined form, as growing wheat is a primary activities and converting wheat into flour is secondary activities. Do you consider conversion of bread from flour? We could kept this activity in which category? Certainly in secondary activities. Wherever there is production of goods, it get considered as secondary activities. Is that clear to you? As most of the student provide answer, we converted wheat to flour, it is secondary activities, and when we converted flour to bread, it become tertiary activities. No, it is not. It is what? Secondary activities. Whenever we produce something, it kept under the category of secondary activities. Is that clear to you? Then what could be kept under tertiary activities? So in tertiary activities, all the service related activities kept, and in most of the cases professionals are kept in this category, like banking, insurance, lawyers, doctors, police services. Wherever services included, here no production could be done, only services or help could be provided to the consumers. Next, that is non-economic activities, those activities that has been performed by the person for not earning money. You have to consider it very clearly in last classes, previous classes, that economic activities are performed for earning money. In lieu of services or goods, you get money, but in non-economic activities, person deserve nothing. Okay, they get the things automatically, like social activities. As you find there is some function in your neighborhood, you tried your best to cooperate with those particular person, you provide them sufficient help, even various type of charity works go on in the society where person contribute and never think about something getting in return. Second, religious activities, we perform prayer and various type of other sacrifices for the well sake of ourselves and to get the blessing of the God. It is not economic activities. Even the spiritual activities, the things that have been done for pleasure, okay, it is also not economic activities. Okay. So, in economic activities we have to consider in this class, as I taught you till this time, entire these things are the study matter of previous class. Today the thing which you have to study, how these sectors interdependent with each other. So, here you find primary sector. Primary sector provide to secondary sector raw materials, food, labor and even consumers for purchasing the goods that has been created. Not primary sector provide raw material, food and labor to secondary sector, due to which secondary sector become capable of producing things in abundant quantity. Second, primary sector provide tertiary sector what? Food and consumers, so that the tertiary sector could provide their fine variety of services to these consumers, and these consumers may be coming from secondary sector or from primary sector or even from tertiary sectors. Now, you have to know what the secondary sector contribute to primary sector. Secondary sector blessed primary sector with machines, fertilizers and tools. With help of entire these things, primary sector become capable of producing things from nature. What the secondary sector provide to tertiary sector? It provide them machines and tools, so that they could carry on their businesses. As you find that banking kept in tertiary sector, so banking need computers, furnitures, pens, paper, entire these things to carry on their business, and entire these things have been coming from secondary sector. In absence of these things, tools, gadgets, tertiary sector person could not be capable of providing fine services to the people. Now, you have to know what the tertiary sector contribute to primary and secondary sector. So, here you find to secondary sector, tertiary sector provide technology, professionals and essential services, so that secondary sector could be capable in production activities. What it provide to primary sector? It provide technology, professionals and even essential services, so that the primary sector personnel could be capable of producing more and more. So, if we want to make it much clear, then here you could see it that entire these primary, secondary and tertiary sector are interrelated. Like it is primary sector, it is dependent over secondary sector, and this secondary sector dependent over tertiary sector, and this tertiary sector get dependent over what? Here we use double headed arrow. Means it provides something to, I can say primary sector provide something to secondary sector and get something from secondary sector. In the same way, it provides something to tertiary sector and get something from tertiary sector. So entire these sectors are what? Interdependent. If a country need prosperity, then it become essential for the people of the country which are involved in these activities cooperate with each other. So such type of diagram has been already given within your books also. You have to just understand it properly. Okay. Primary sector dependent over secondary sector, and even secondary sector get dependent over primary sector. Okay. In the same way, primary sector get dependent over tertiary sector, and tertiary sector get dependent over primary sector. For prosperity, it become essential for entire these three sectors to work according to other sectors for prosperity. So today the topic get cleared, and certainly the classes get over. If you have some confusion remain with you, you could type it in comment section in Google Classroom. Have a good day.